क्या सुख सोता राम 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 तुम परो निटोटा रे तुम परो निटोटा क्या सुख सोता राम 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 तुम परो निटोटा रे पिंजरे में बैठ के रे भूल गया निज धाम भूल गया निज धाम लालच के वश में परारी पर वश आडोया पर वश आडोया सागे तेरे चली गई कोई न आया काम कोई न आया काम जीव अकेला फंस गया रे छूट गया घर धाम छूट गया घर धाम माउट बेली ताक मेरे बैठ बीच मुकाम बैठ बीच मुकाम अवसर तेरी देखा के रे कर से कामत माम कर से कामत माम बोली तेरी रस परी रे रटो निरंजन नाम रटो निरंजन नाम ब्रह्मानंद मिटे भव बंधन पावे पर विश्राम पावे पर विश्राम तुम परो निटोटा क्या सुख सोता राम 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 तुम परो निटोटा रे
की जय. Adharaniya Param Pujaniya Vyas Ji, most illustrious and esteemed Pandit Balram Ji, other Pandits, Pandit Vashish, Pandit Varish, Pandit Lekraj Ji, Pandit Keshav Ji, Pandit Ashish Ji, and of course your Dharam-Patni Shrimati Nalini Ji, and other members of the Kirtan Mandali. On behalf of Sushila Badri and her family, I extend a cordial welcome to all of you to tonight, the second night of the continuation of these 3 sessions of Gyan Yagya. It is indeed a great blessing for all of us to join with you and to sit at the feet of the very esteemed Vyas Ji, Pandit Balram Ji, to reach out to you and your family, your loved ones, in your home across. I will now pass you over to our dear Vyas Ji, Pandit Balram Ji. Bole Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki Jai.
Rajesh, we commence with invocation prayer. We are focusing upon Divine Mother. So any of the many forms with which you are closely acquainted, and Om Tat Sat, Om Namash Chandikai. And when I say that form, I also include the form of your own mother, for that is also Divine Mother. So we join in prayer, invocation prayer. It will be Vindheshwari Stotra. Om Ganganapate Namah. Om Shri Guru Charan Kamal Bhyo Namah. Om Ai Mahasaraswatye Namah. Om Namash Chandikai. Om Uma Maheshwarai Namah. Om Namo Narayanai Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevai Namah. Om Shri Sita Ramachandrai Namah. Om Radhavar Krishna Govindai Namah. Om Ham Hanumantaye Namaha. Nishumbha Shumbha Garjane Prachande Khande Khandini Banerane Prakashini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Trishula Mundadharini Dhara Vighate Harini Grihe Grihe Nivasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Daridra Dukkha Harini Suta Vibhuti Karini Viyoga Shoka Harini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Lasat Sulolatuchanam Latasanam Baram Pradam Kapal Shuladharini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Karo Mudagadadhara Shiva Shiv Pradayini Vara Varanana Shubha Bhajami Vindhyavasini Drishindra Jamini Pradam Tridhasya Rupadharini Jale Thale Nivasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Vishishta Shishta Karini Vishal Rupadharini Mahodare Vilasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Purandarari Sevita Surari Vansha Khandita Vishuddha Buddhi Karini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini Bhajami Vindhyavasini. Bole Shri Shakti Jagdambika Mata Ki. As we mentioned previously, devotees, tonight we're going to deal with Divine Mother Shakti. As we all know, many are her forms. But let's go to the word Shakti first of all. It represents power, energy. It comes from the root verb shak, meaning to be able to do or to act. And the moment we make this comment, we realize Divine Mother is about doing. And in this world, we need more doers than talkers. People who are action-oriented. And so, devotees, energy pervades everything. everything. Nothing can happen without energy. Devotees, life is Shakti. In all forms, there are three main forms of Shakti. Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti and Kriya Shakti. The Ichha Shakti means the power of one's will or willpower, and that is Durga Devi. Gyan Shakti, the energy of knowledge, that is Lakshmi. And Kriya Shakti, the energy of activity, and that is Saraswati. Now these call for tremendous knowledge, for tremendous thought, introspection. But you are intelligent people, I just lay it out and keep chewing upon it. Devotees, we may have the will, but we don't have the knowledge, then nothing happens. We may have the knowledge, but we don't perform the action, nothing happens. So the three must be together, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, or willpower, the power of knowledge, and the power of action, activity. All these are necessary if anything is to be accomplished. And then look at the flag that we all put up in our yard, in our chandi, wherever it might be, or even we plant it in the yard of the heart. There are three sides. The three sides represent Gyan Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti, reminding us how important that jhanda, that flag that we plant in our yard. And so we are being told by Divine Mother to increase our knowledge, to show us a sense of willpower and perform constructive action. Devotees, this in brief is what Shakti is, and so from now on we're going to give some examples in the form of Divine Mother as to what these, how we can understand these three forms. But first of all, I want us to focus upon Ma Saraswati. And Om Tat Sat, Jai Sharda Devi, Jai Vagishwari, Jai Vani Maharani. Devotees, we need Ma more than ever. Jai Bani, Jai Bani Maharani Mata, Maharani Mata. Vedya Bodhi Badhavan Hare, Ha Vedya Bodhi Badhavan Hare. Jai Bani Maya, Jai Bani Mata, Jai Bani Maharani Mata, Maharani Mata. Vedya Bodhi Badhavan Hare, O Vedya Bodhi Badhavan Hare. Sweta Padma Asana Asina, Asana Asina. Karabina Maya, Karabina Mukha Mangalakari, Mangalakari. Vedya Bodhi Badhavan Hare, Ma Vedya. Hansavahini, Hansavahini, Rupa Chatura Bhuj, Rupa Chatura Bhuj, Yavat Sakal Maya, Yavat Sakal Devanarayari, O Devanarayari. Vedya Bodhi Badhavan Hare, Ma Vedya. विद्यार्थी विद्याहित ध्यावत विद्याहित धावत विद्यार्थी हित विद्या ध्यावत विद्या ध्यावत पावत भक्ति मैया पावत मुक्ति मैया पावत मुक्ति भक्त संसारी भक्त संसारी विद्या बोधि बढ़ावन हारे विद्या शिशुशिलाल ब्रह्मयानंद दे ब्रह्मानंद दे माता सरस्वती सुखयकारी विद्या बोधि बढ़ावन हारे विद्या महारानी माता महारानी माता विद्या बोधि बढ़ावन हारे विद्या जय बानी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। बोले श्री सरस्वती माता की। Now devotees, of the many forms, I shall take maybe 2 or 3 based upon time. And one very important form that we don't pay too much attention to, but we all say it, we use that form, and we cannot function without that form of Ma, and that is Ma Swaha. You cannot have any rite or ritual if not uttered for fulfillment, for upliftment, for satisfaction. And so devotees, let us hear a few points on this. There are 10 forms of Swaha, of fire. I'm telling you of the importance of fire. And devotees, these 10 forms, there is a ritual fire, Brahma Agni, which we have in Yagyas and Puja. There's Prajapati Agni, fire given to the unmarried student for Janav ceremony with the pledge to preserve and worship and make offerings to Agni Devata. There's the Gahapati Agni, fire brought into home after the marriage and to be worshipped regularly by the husband and wife. There is Dakshin Agni, the fire offering to our Pitra, our ancestor, when we say Swadha. There is Kravayad Agni, the funeral fire, where we put the body and have it burnt in the flames. And devotees, I want to say this, it's not in the scripture, but it's in everybody's life, everybody's home perhaps. And there's what we call the fire in the house, the quarreling fire. Plenty fire in the house. Quarreling for so. Janjat, larai. But we'll not talk about that. We know enough about that. We won't go there. So devotees, why is this fire so important? Before I go into that, let us recite Agni Gayatri. Visualize a lighting fire in front of you. And you're doing the jap, chanting the Gayatri for Agni Devata. Om Vaishvanaraya Vidmahi Lalilai Dhimahi Tanu Agni Prachodayat. May we creative and treat Vaishvanar, the fire god. May we meditate upon him, the mystic fire, and may that fire illumine our lives, burning all negativities. Bole Shri Again Bhagwan Ki. Now devotees, what are the benefits? Well, I just mentioned it can burn all the negative feelings in the home, or in your body, or in your life. I will go now and I'll give some examples based upon research. In Peru, all this is documented. There was a deadly fungus which attacked the banana plantation, and we all know how important banana or fig is. We all know that. Very important. We won't even go into the benefits of it. But there's a saying, banana is the fruit of the wise. Not that if you eat banana, you get wise, you know. But you're wise to eat it because of the health benefits. Banana. So they tried all types of pesticides and so on. And they all failed, and failed miserably. So devotees, a yogi suggested to them, we need to first of all understand this banana is planted in Mother Earth, Dharti Mata. And sometimes we tend to forget how important this earth is until it hits back each one of us in a very forceful way. In tidal waves, tsunami, earthquake, you name it. So devotees, remember we all were born on this earth. We rise on this earth, we fall on this earth, depends on the action we perform, the company we keep, and the thoughts we have. So the Sadhya, upon his instruction, lipid a spot, as we say, you purify the spot with cow dung. And devotees, 4 hours a day, Mrityunjay mantra was recited. And again, remember how important Mrityunjay mantra is. When one has certain ailments and sicknesses and diseases, then you recite Mrityunjay mantra and see the power of Bhagwan Shankara, Mrityunjay. 4 hours a day, Mrityunjay mantra was recited. Especially more so on full moon day and new moon day. Those days were used 24 hours non-stop chanting Mrityunjay mantra. Now mantra or words have vibration, connotation, denotation. And a word can make us happy, a word can make us sad. It depends on what the word. Somebody say, I love you, well, that's a very good thing. Somebody, I hate the best bone in you, well, you know what happened there. So we all know how powerful mantras are. So this was recited. And devotees, to the power of Mrityunjay, to the power of prayer, and to the power of Havan, that smoke began to permeate and pervade the entire field, and devoted the blight, gone, was left, was destroyed. So this is why they say, do Havan in your home. Husband and wife, problem, trouble, do it together. Now you do it in my room and you do it in the next person's room. We have to sit and do it together. Always remember that. And there are many stories. I'm not going to all of that. With Savitri, etc. Devotees, what happened according to the research? When this is done because of the ingredients poured into the fire, all the harmful chemical things are in the environment were burnt. The bacteria count, this is what the research is showing, was reduced, and here the amount, from 860 to 70. And we all know how important the air is, the environment. We just had a huge conference on what can we do to preserve the earth and to reduce carbon emissions, etc., etc. So devotee, when you hear your religion, it's not just something in a temple or to sit for a few people to discuss. It concerns life and living in a very direct and relevant way. Devotees, there's another bit of research. I'm coming back to the spiritual side, if you don't mind. In Germany, hospital with terminally ill patients, especially heart patients, showed remarkable improvement when Havan was performed. Think of that. Another scientist from Russia recorded the miraculous powers of cow's milk. Nobody hear a lot of talk. Don't drink tomato milk, drink buffalo milk, drink elephant milk, drink camel milk, drink this kind of milk. I can't condemn any milk. Too much of anything good for nothing. We have to be careful of what we fed. So devotees, what happened here? The miraculous powers of cow's milk to protect from nuclear radiation. Nuclear radiation, cow's milk. We won't go into all the details, there's a lot more. A place which is leafy with cow dung remains totally protected from radioactive effects. And some scorn, pain. You decide, devotees. Our religion is giving us the facts and science is now bearing it out. So leave the place. That emanates by burning sugar in the Havan has a healing effect. It kills the germs of deadly diseases like TB, typhoid, and diarrhea. Don't we put sugar in our Havan kun? In our samagni? This is what he has found out, devotee. And I'm sure many have found out other things too. In New Jersey, there's a society spreading the use of Havan to contain and combat pollution. So when they say lighting fire created more pollution, that's not so. This is good smoke. Valmiki Ramayana has it. Oh Lord, he who lights the fire and inhales that smoke, he is purifying him inside. Reside in him, bless him. He's not burning a tire. He's not burning ganja. I could say more. We'll leave it there. Devotees, when the British ruled India, there's a few, I'll just give you a few more. Devotees, the advice was given to use grit, saffron and rice as oblations and yagyas for protection from plagues. In 1994, in Surat, Gujarat, a yag was used to purify the atmosphere and kill the germs. An American scientist, there's a lot of information, just give you briefly, came up that chanting Gayatri Mantra with proper pronunciation generates, and hear this, with proper pronunciation generates 110,000 waves which calm negative emotions and feelings. So when you find you can't control your anger and whatever, go and sit and do some Gayatri jap. And other things too. So they have given us many techniques, many solutions for anger, for hate, for pollution, for the environment. You name it, devotee. This is Sanatan Dharma. And all of this has to do with what? Swaha. Again, Devata. Very interesting. And then the Rig Veda, which is the foundation of Sanatan Dharma. It says air in its pure form is the best medicine for peace of mind, good health, and long life. pure air. It's the purest form, best medicine for that. And that's why in Hinduism we have what is called Kumbakri Pranayama. Inhale through the right side, then inhale through the left, then hold both and inhale through the mouth. As you do this, you know what you're doing? I won't tell you, do it and see. Inhalation, retention, and exhalation. And this also is Nar, Pingala, and Saraswati. The three, when we do that, we are purifying ourselves and build ourselves spiritually. So if I don't want to sit down and do jap, I just do inhalation. There are many ways in Hinduism. It's not dogmatic, or religion is not dogmatic, but pragmatic. There's a way for everybody. And so devotees, this all ties in with what we call Swaha. So having said that, let us know, there's a book here that I've brought. It is available from Swaha on the website and whatever else. And devotees, it is the Swaha Chalisa. Never compiled by any saint or sage in India. Although Swaha is so important, Swaha is a Devi. Yet Pandit Gyandev, who went India 2 or 3 times, my brother, he saw it fit, under Pitaji's guidance, to compose this Swaha Chalisa. I will sing a verse or two. An incident is Swaha, the organization that I belong to, and that most of you know. So here we go. The first Swaha Chalisa says, Jai 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 Swaha Mai, Jai Jai Mata Chandravati. And Chandravati was the name of my mother. My mother. Yah Chalisa Hari Persad hai, father's name. And today would have been his birthday if he were alive. Today would have been his birthday if he were alive. Yah Guru Ramchandra ji ka gyan hai. This knowledge is from our Guru Ramchandra Baba, the Guru of all of us, including Pandit Krishna and Hardat and all those individuals from the late. So devotee, this is not joke. This contains the blessings of great individuals. And so we shall sing, let's 1 or 2 verses of Swaha Chalisa. Boli Sri Swaha Mata Ki Jai. So devotees, as we said, we're sharing just a few bits and pieces of these great forms of Ma. So remember, do your Havan and undoubtedly through the power of this Havan and this fire, permeating your very life and through your home and throughout the world. If we all begin to do this, we'll see a big difference in the world. Yes, and fulfillment. Devotees, let us glorify Ma again, this time a simple kirtanam so you can join. Vishwadharini Ambe Ma, Vishwadharini Durge Ma, Vishwadharini Ambe Ma, Vishwadharini Durge Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jagadishwari Gauri Ma. Janani Kali Ma, Prema Swarupini Sharda Ma, Jyoti Swarupa Swaha Ma, Vishnu Priya He Lakshmi Ma, Ganga Tulsi Prithvi Ma, Radha Sita Parvati Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jagadishwari Gauri Ma, oh Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jagadishwari Gauri Ma, Jai Jagadishwari, Jai Jagadishwari Gauri Ma, Jai Jagadishwari Gauri Ma. Ma is Shakti. So we glorify Ma in Shakti. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Shakti, Icha Shakti Om, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Icha Shakti Om, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Om, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Om, Ma, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Om, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Om, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Om. Shakti Lakshmi Shakti Om Shakti Om, Durga Shakti Lakshmi Shakti Om Shakti Om, Sharda Shakti Kali Shakti Om Shakti Om, Sharda Shakti Kali Shakti Om Shakti Om, Radha Shakti Sita Shakti Om Shakti Om, Radha Shakti Sita Shakti Om Shakti Om, Ma Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Rama Shakti, Krishna Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Rama Shakti, Krishna Shakti, Om Shakti, everything is provided by Shakti. So we say, Mata Shakti, Pita Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Even our mother or father, Mata Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om. Shakti, Untitled Chapter key. Devotees, to drive home the point even more forcefully about the greatness of Havan, and I will give you this incident. Devotees, it is taken from the scripture, the Puran, Swaha Devi. Her father was a king. He wanted to get her married. It's the joy and happiness of every parent to marry their daughter, if it's possible. People make choices, and let me quickly say in Hinduism, there are those who choose not to do so, and devotees, that is quite in order from our religious texts and teachings. So, no matter who was brought before her, she said, I don't like this person. I don't. I know some people can be very picky, very fussy. Devote not only girls but boys too. So the father became a bit annoyed, and so he gave up. What is to be will be. And one day, after some years, he was going into the forest, and she said, oh father, take me with you. I'm fed up of the palace, I will let you go in the forest. And there's a saying in Hindi, Jangal mein mangal. The kind of joy you get in Mother Nature, you can't get it in the home. And that's a fact, devotees. To see the waves in the ocean, to hear the babbling of the water, the chirping of the birds, all these things, it brings a tremendous sense of joy, because that's what our true nature is. And so, he took her along, because as his daughter, he wants to make his daughter happy. So they reached a certain part in the forest, and it was very dark and dangerous. So he told the soldiers, you stay here and guard my daughter, and I will go, and when I'm back, we shall continue. So she stayed there, and the soldiers guarded her. On that same day, there was a young man, very devoted to his parents, and God bless such young people. They will always be truly successful, not partially successful. And the world is crying out for more and more of such sons. So he was one such, and he went to fetch firewood for his blind parents. You can find out now? Anyway, let me move on. I might get carried away. So devotees, he happened to pass right where this beautiful girl was sitting, surrounded by soldiers. The moment her eyes fell upon him, as we say, sparks had to fly. Devotees, she told the soldiers, go and call my father quickly. Go and call him quickly. I need to show him the person I'm going to get married to. I want to get married to. Well, the soldiers hurried, and they found the king and brought him back. And devotees, where is he? They pointed out. They went and found this young man and brought him and said, my daughter would like to get married to you. What say you? Now, he was one of those who don't tell your elders anything negative or wrong or bad. So if this is your desire and your daughter desires, so be it. But I'm a poor person. My parents are blind. Your daughter will become a princess living in all comfort and luxury. Can she afford to live in this condition? Devotee, she was told, she said, Daddy, wherever my husband is, there is heaven for me. Same thing Sita said. When she was told, you want to go in the forest, there are demons, it's dangerous. She said, wherever Sri Ram is, Sita will be there. God bless such wives. Like he gonna me taking him, we're gonna suffer. I didn't be married me to suffer me. I'm not taking that. And you know the story. I don't want to go and say all of these things. I could go on with that, but I stop it here, devotees. So they were told about the situation and they agreed. And devotees, they went to the Guruji. And this is one thing, never ever leave your Guru out of your life. If you do that, someday someone will come to bounce you and hit you real hard and wake you up. And I'm not threatening anybody. Why should I threaten anybody? I'm not here to do that. So devotees, they consulted Guruji. Guru said, my Maharaj, your king, good much, but there's a problem. This boy is going to die at the age of 12. She'll be happy for a short while, but after that she'll be a widow. And devotees, who wants to get married and become a widow? By the way, in Trinidad, there are 40,000 widows. Think it easy? That we know of. That's recorded. 40,000. How much in Canada? I don't know. Right? But I don't want to touch anybody's nerves yet. Maybe another time, another year. So 40,000, imagine that. So devotees, when the king heard that, he said, God, Guruji, what is the way out? He said, there's no way out. So the girl was told, she said, Pitaji, it's better I live for 12 years in happiness than 12 years in unhappiness or 40 years in unhappiness. That's her choice. What will you choose, devotees? You have to think. And so, when she agreed, marriage took place. Year 1, year 2, year 3, 12 year reach. Devotees, on this, the 12th year, about to expire. This boy, as he would do every day, picked up his axe to go and fetch firewood. But before, in the night, this girl couldn't sleep. That tomorrow, it is said by Guruji, my husband is going to die. So tomorrow, we have spent so many happy moments. When on the next day when I stretch my hand, the bed will be empty. That will hurt me. But this is how it is. I made that choice. So when he about to go for the wood, she held his hand and said, oh husband, oh Patidev. Well, I don't know how wife is called the husband now. A and O and whatever. On Sagaboy or whatever. So she held his hand and said, no, I want to go with you today. So he said, I can't let you go with me. My blind parents are home. And that's another thing, devotees. Marriage is not just simply the union of two people, but two families, two villages even, two cultures. And many a time too much of selfishness and egoism. We don't take on, I don't care about your mother and you don't care about your father. And so we go in. Creation, more confusion and conflict. But again, each one chooses as you see fit. But it won't work. Because what is right, and what is wrong is very wrong. Very wrong. So, he said, you are forgetting something very important. My parents will be home alone. They can't see. If something should happen to them, I'll regret it. Therefore, my dear, you have always stayed at home. I ask you to stay home today too and look after my parents as you have always done. But devotee, she insisted. So now there's a stalemate. So the parents heard that. And parents also have a very important part to play. We can't just study ourselves. We try to do what's best for our children too. And when the mother heard that, she said, son, no, let her go with you. It's one day only. And we could take care of ourselves for this one day. And my son, make her happy. And that's what the husband is there for. And the wife too. They made them grieve and cry. A whole bucket of basin of tears. That shouldn't be. So what happened? He couldn't overrule the statement of his mother. And she said, come on, let's go, he said. So now he's holding the axe in one hand and she's holding his other hand. Now you don't normally see that except with the first year or month of marriage. After that, oh God. I know what they're holding. Grudge, hate, anger, you name it. I'm not mocking anybody. I don't know anybody's life story. Please don't say he come here and he talking this and that. I'm telling you what his story says. So, they are going. While going, she began to notice her husband. He's sweating. And devotees, he began to walk as though he was drifting. She realized something was wrong. And she said, Swami, please sit here a while. Regain yourself, your composure, and then we shall proceed. But before anything could happen, he collapsed in her hand. But that's not a nice sight to behold. To see your child sick in your hand, or your mother or your father sick in your hand, and you are there and you are lost. What to do? What to do? Many parents have died in the hands of their children. Unbelievable. And so devotees, he fell to the ground, she held him, placed him down gently on her lap, and there the soul left the body. He passed out. Now we all know, we won't go, it's a long story, it's a lot of aspects to it. When the soul leaves the body, where does it go and what happens and what is dead, that's another katha by itself. So at that point in time, it's a light that came through the mouth. And she was able to see this light leaving the body of the husband. And she put on the body of the husband, she began to follow the light. Because what's the real person? The real person is not the body, as our scriptures say, is the self, the Atma. That's why now when I see people making big fuss about funeral and dead and all kind of things, I say, Lord, heaven help them. Heaven help them. You'll be surprised to the things people say and do. Ask Pandit, ask the Baba and them here. And if you try to tell them, no way. Like if you don't mind, I could stop and say a little thing fast, a little dead talk. Devotees, we went to cremate a guy, and he was on his wheelchair. So when they put the body and light the fire, the fella said, go and bring it, boy. So they went, well, I want to know what it in Trinidad means ganja or rum, or something so. So I want to know what is it. So they brought the wheelchair and the fellow went about to put it on top of the fire. I said, why are you doing that for, boy? Why are you doing that? Why are you going to burn it for? He said, Pandit, I'm a father one, where are you going to need it? I said, wait here until all the foot and hand and everything burn and tell me where you carrying that. How are you carrying that? Who carrying that for him? You carrying it? I said, brother, no. You see, they don't know, you have to take your time, have patience and enlighten them. I say, would it not be better if you take this and give it to somebody who's living, who needs it? And so that person will be blessed and happy, and your soul of a father be even more blessed, and the family be even more blessed. Therefore, give it to somebody. Now, devotees, if you don't have pandits who are brave and strong to say these things, then we continue to live like this. So they agreed, and somebody got that. God bless them, and God bless the family. So devotees, these are things that happen. So they're here and she's following the soul. This is my husband, I'm not giving up on him. I'm going to follow him. And devotees, we all know Jamaraj, the god of death, as we say. Dharamraj, dharma, righteousness. So after a while, Dharamraj said, go back. You left your body of your husband, it has to be disposed of. And that is true. It must be disposed of. But go back there and do after that funeral rites and so on. She said, no, my husband, the real person, the true him is following you, this light. Give it back to me and then I'll go back. Jamaraj didn't give it back. She continued, Dharmaraj continued, the soul continued. 3 times. Then he said, listen, you really have to stop. I cannot allow you to continue. There are some things we have to do, and there's something you have to do. She said, well, give me back my husband. Devotees, eventually they cut the whole long story short. He said, I'll give you one wish. One wish. Now, her in-laws are blind. They are poor. Husband dead, and she has no children. 4 problems. 4 problems. And she being told to ask for one wish. Devotee, when God with you, things work out well. And when God not with you, and they just say, butter could cut you. Whatever that means. So devotees, what would she say? 4 desires, 1 wish. So she said, oh Lord, I ask that my in-laws see their grandson sitting on a throne, eating kheer or seed rice. That's what I wish to see. So Yamaraj said, so shall it be. Now the 4 desires came into one, and it came to pass. She is asking that her in-laws see. So that means they will get their sight. She wants that, see what? That their grandson doing what? So to have a grandson, how you could have a child without a man? Only if you're Lord Ganesh and Shivaji and Parvati. We adopt or something else. I hope I'm not talking bad language. I just make it relevant and plain. Plain talk? Okay. Yes. So for that to happen, the husband had to be restored to life. So then she could have a son with him. And then what? His son doing what? Sitting on a throne. They're poor. For their lives to be transformed, they have to regain their kingdom. Sitting on the throne, doing what? Eating street rice. So all her desires came to pass. Husband came back to life. A child was born. They got back their kingdom and everything. The in-laws got back their sight. Someone was asked by one of the chela, how did this happen? How could she be so smart, so intelligent, so wise? Then the answer is simply, devotees, what I've been saying to you, Swaha. And I challenge you all, anybody who wants to see the soul, not only the physical but the metaphysical. Anybody wants to see these things that the ordinary eye can't perceive, then for 365 days, this is what the challenge is. Do Havan. Not one day, not 3 days, not for your birthday, not for your wedding anniversary. Do Havan for 365 days. And through the power of Agandevta, you will see the transformation that will come in your life. And what you never saw, never understood, and never did, you'll be able to do. This is the greatest of Sri Agandevta. So devotees, there's a lot more, but I do not wish to go too much. We have so many forms of Ma, and I've spoken to you briefly on the greatness of Agandevta as well as Swaha Mata, because Swaha is the consort of Agandevta. I pray, Bole Shri Swaha Mata Ki Jai. So devotees, tomorrow we start at 10. So invite again to come to tune in, whatever it might be. And we shall speak a bit another form of the Lord, which I will not tell you tonight. You'll have to tune in to know. And devotees, I will now leave you with this very powerful mantra from Argala Stotra. Om Shri Untitled Chatraye Namo Namam Achinta Rupa Charite Devi Sarva Shatru Vinashini Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dvisho Jahi Om Vanditangri Yuge Devi Sarva Saubhagya Daini Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dvisho Jahi. This is a powerful, it's many mantras, but just one or two I've just recited. And this says, O Divine Mother, Rupam, beauty and form, reveal your indwelling presence at the beauty of self-knowledge. That is true beauty of the individual. Beauty of self-knowledge. If I know who I am, what myself is, then that's true beauty. And devotees, when we say success, the form, success in spiritual endeavors, victory to you, the deluding power of Maya. With such victory comes glory, a state of spiritual bliss, and the destruction of the hostile forces, the Mahishasura. So devotee, these mantras compiled by great sages, meant for you and I, to recite and to bring positive energies into our lives. Now, I think we should spend a moment or two glorifying Ma. There are so many Kirtan Devi, Kirtan devotees. Let us do one or two if you don't mind. And then we shall go on to the Havan. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namaste Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Durga Amba Bhavani Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani, Durga Amba Bhavani Jai Jai, Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani, Jai Jai,
Durga Amba Bhavani.
Sankat Harani, Kalimal Harani, Sankat Harani, Chinta Harani, Sankat Harani, Kalimal Harani, Sankat Harani, Chinta Harani, Pranav Swarupini Mata ho Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani, Pranav Swarupini Mata ho Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani, Durga Amba Bhavani Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani, Durga Amba Bhavani Jai Jai,
Durga Amba Bhavani.
Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani, Jai Jai.
Durga Amba Bhavani.
To Amba Bhavani Ma Amba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Ma Amba Bhavani. 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 Amba Bhavani Ma Amba Bhavani.
Amba Bhavani Ma Amba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Maya Amba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Mata Amba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Ma 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 Amba Bhavani. Durga Amba Bhavani Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani Jai Jai, Durga Amba Bhavani. We continue. Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani, Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani, Ho
Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani.
Hey Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani.
Oh Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani.
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Ma Amba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani, Jagajanani Ma
Amba Bhavani. Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani.
Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani,
Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani.
Amba Bhavani Mata Amba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Mata Amba Bhavani.
Hey Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani, Amba Bhavani Ma, Oh Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani. Jagajanani Ma Amba Bhavani.
Jagamaga जगमग ज्योत विराजे
जगमग जगमग ज्योत विराजे
तेज सुरेशन जानी हो माता जग जननी माँ
अम्मा भवानी
दुख हरने सुख संपत्ति भरनी
दुख हरनी सुख संपत्ति भरनी
करनी सकल कल्याणी हो माता जग जननी माँ
अम्मा भवानी जग जननी माँ अम्मा भवानी
महिमा अगम अपार तुम्हारो
महिमा गम अपार तुम्हारो
सेज सुरेशन जानी हो माता जग जननी माँ
अम्मा भवानी
जग जननी माँ
अम्मा भवानी जग जननी माँ अम्बा भवानी
अम्बा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी
अम्बा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी
हे अम्बा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी
जग जननी माँ अम्बा भवानी
दुर्गा भवानी माँ लक्ष्मी भवानी माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ लक्ष्मी भवानी माँ
शारदा भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
शारदा भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
सीता भवानी राधा भवानी सीता भवानी राधा भवानी
जग जननी माँ अम्बा भवानी
अम्बा भवानी
अम्मा भवानी
अम्बा भवानी
अम्मा भवानी
जगदम्बा भवानी
अम्मा भवानी
बोले श्री शक्ति अटल छत्र की
जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ शिव शंकरी कृपा करो माँ जय ईश्वरी दया करो माँ जय ईश्वरी कृपा करो माँ परमेश्वरी दया करो माँ शिव शंकरी दया करो माँ जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ शिव शंकरी दया करो माँ जय ईश्वरी दया करो माँ जय ईश्वरी कृपा करो माँ परमेश्वरी दया करो माँ शिव शंकरी दया करो माँ
तुमको निस दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिवरी जय अम्बे
गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
मांग सिंदूर विराजत को मृगमद को ओज्वल से रो नैना चंद्र बदननी को
जय
जय
अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
कनक समान कलेवर रक्तांबर राजे रक्त पुष्प गलमाला कंठन पर साजे
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया
के हरि वाहन राजत खड्ग खपर धारी सुर नर मुनि जन सेवत तिनके दुख हारी।
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया, जय श्यामा गौरी मैया।
कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती, कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर सम्राजत ज्योति।
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया, जय श्यामा गौरी मैया।
शुंभ निशुंभ विदारे महिषासुर घाती, धूम्र विलोचन नैना निश दिन मदमाती।
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया, जय श्यामा गौरी मैया।
चंद्रमूल संहारे शोणित बीज हरे, मधु कैटभ दो मारे सुर भय ही न करे।
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया, जय श्यामा गौरी मैया।
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया,
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया।
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी मैया,
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी मैया।
जय शारदा काली मैया।
जय शारदा काली मैया। सब संभव हो जाता, मन नहीं घबराता। ओम जय स्वाहा माता, सत्य ज्ञान भरहाता। अवगुण मिट जाता, सनातन धर्म हमारा। स्वाहा सची माता, ओम जय स्वाहा माता। ओम जय स्वाहा माता। ओम जय स्वाहा माता।
गंगा तुरे
हे पर गंगा हे पर जमुना, बिचवा में धारा बहेना बहेना। बिचवा में धारा बहेना बहेना, गंगा तुरी धारा बहेना बहेना।
तुरे धारा बहेना बहेना।
हे पर चंदा वो हे पर सरजू, बिचवा में तारा उगेना उगेना। बिचवा में तारा उगेना उगेना। गंगा तोरी धारा बहेना बहेना। गंगा तोरी धारा बहेना बहेना। हे पर रामा वो हे पर लक्ष्मण,
पर रामा वही पर लक्ष्मण।
बिचवा में सीता हरीना हरीना। बिचवा में सीता हरीना हरीना। गंगा तोरी धारा बहेना बहेना। गंगा तोरी धारा बहेना बहेना। गंगा तोरी धारा बहेना बहेना। गंगा तोरी धारा बहेना बहेना।
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धो च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। बोले श्री जगदम्बिका माता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उदय सार जगन्नाथ की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, स्वाहा माता की जय, प्रेम से बोले श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की शुभ मस्तु, कल्याण मस्तु। आपको धन्यवाद, सत्य आशीर्वाद।